Hello, hello, hello. It is Kayla again, back at it. So I did my debt confession, and I'm actually just gonna be exploring some different things. This is my little planner that I got with many coupons at Michael's. And I just wanted to do a quick month wrap up. It is currently June 1st, 2022, starting the summer. Reviewing my May goals. So for May, my goals were mainly to have at least 5 no spend days, which may seem low to some people, but with my son, or like even with just, I'm not even gonna blame it on him, without proper planning and like taking into account things that he's gonna need, we end up feeling like we're buying something every day. So 5 was low. I'll show you what I actually hit. Pay off my credit card every month. I've just recently considered going the rewards route as far as using credit cards. I have a very low credit card limit. When I was younger, I got into credit card debt, and thankfully I was able to get out, but it was hard, and I don't ever want to go through that again, especially since I'm fighting to get out of student loan debt. So I'm not sure if I want to be a points or rewards hacker or whatnot, but I do want to travel more on a budget. So that's why I'm considering it. If we ever got into it, definitely paying it off every month. My main thing is lately I've been earning interest and not paying it, and I'm trying to keep it up. So moving on, using credit card once a month, just to have the history continue. Spending about $175 per week on groceries, which can seem high, but with where we are right now, currently on the West Coast, it's pricey, and we do eat a lot of vegetables. My husband's a big meat person. I eat it. I'm into more so seafood, fish, shrimp, crab, different things like that, to switch it up and spice it up. Planning ahead also for the month of May. My life, our childhood best friend, adult best friend, we've been friends since I was like 10 or 11. She's turning 30 next year, as am I, but she wanted to do a couples trip with her husband, me, and my husband in April. Her birthday's in January, but it would be in April because she's a teacher. I have a lot of vlogs coming up because I'm a former teacher, and many of my friends are still in the classroom, so we'll get into that. But if we're going to try to swing that, we have to budget for the plane tickets, budget for lodging. We have to budget for the excursions because your girl wants to do all the adventures and activities. Trip insurance in case something happens. My husband's job fluctuates as far as like, this is the end date. No, this is really the end date. He's a contractor, so we're blessed for continued employment, but it can be a bit difficult to plan around that. On top of food and souvenir costs, the time off work for my husband, and then childcare, which is a beast in and of itself. As you all may know, I think I mentioned it. We have a son. He's 1.5. By this point, he would be 2. We don't really leave him with too many people. Everyone has their different life choices, different family situations. If I'm not providing his care or his father isn't providing his care, it's generally my mother, my father, my husband's father or stepfather, and that's pretty much it. He does have a sitter that we occasionally use. She's a really nice young lady. She's a college student, but majority of the time, even if she does come, we're here. Like, my husband and I are trying to maybe do something elsewhere with our full focus and attention, and she's up front entertaining our son. Or where we're staying currently is in a very urban like shop center. We can walk to shops or restaurants right now, so it would be so we could do that, and then we'll come back home. So the idea, I would prefer to just bring him with us. My husband doesn't. He's a little less fond of that. But the alternative is we'd have to pay for my grandparents to come up from Florida. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Duval. Okay, I had to put that in there. To come from Jacksonville, Florida to the southeastern Hampton Roads, Virginia area. So that's travel costs that we'd be covering for them to get to and fro, as well as just like getting preparations because they would be staying at my mom's house. So we would need to make sure that there's enough food for Kylo. Granted, we don't have to do this. This is something that I like to do. If I'm going to ask someone to care for my child, I want to give them all of the tools, especially so they can kind of keep his routine. But I also know that, you know, time with grandma and great grandma and granddad and all that, he's going to get to have fun. But that costs money. Like I said, we got to, with gas being what it is now, and then as far as paying for hotels, because my grandparents are elderly and it's a pretty long drive. They don't like to fly, so they wouldn't fly. But what we would do is at like the halfway mark between where we live in Virginia and where they live in Jacksonville, Florida, is around the south of the border area between South Carolina and South Carolina. If you're on the East Coast, you know it's a pretty big or well-known rest stop area. That's kind of like the halfway mark, a little bit outside of Fayetteville, North Carolina, into the South Carolina border. So that's all things to think about, as well as the time off for my husband's job. If he's traveling and he's on the road, it is a lot trickier because of the way that their pay is based off of the location and taking the time off. And it's just, and my husband and another relative of ours works for the same company, so it's also difficult if they're both trying to get the time off, and that other relative would definitely want to participate in you know, helping my mom and my grandma to care for my son. So that's that. Moving on, this video is getting off track and I am on a schedule this time. So building our $1,000 mini emergency fund. I had an $1,000 mini emergency fund already built, but then some expenses, which weren't emergencies, I should have budgeted for them. That's on me. I need to do better with my sinking funds, came up. And so now I just built it back to $1,000. And the goal is to pay at least $1,300 per month on my student loans. Didn't quite make it this month, as we're about to see. But the things that I was trying to remember is you have food at home. Kayla, you have food at home. You've been eating out of the refrigerator. Keep it up. I'm proud of myself for decreasing my fast food spending here recently. So you might have, I did mention we stay within walking distance of restaurants, but they're expensive. Like, they cost more money than I want to spend or that I'm comfortable spending. We do stay near a Trader Joe's, which is new to me. I never really been into Trader Joe's. It's kind of like a boutique value vintage. I don't know if all those even make sense together. But if I want something to eat, I'll walk with my son and we'll go get something out of their frozen food section for a fraction of the cost of DoorDash or Uber Eats. And I always feel so guilty because I want to tip decently to the person who's providing this service. But then it just makes a meal that would have been $12 go as far as, you know, $50 or $35. And it's just not, it's too much. So without any further ado, moving on to the month of May. Ta-da! My goal for the month of May was 5 no spend days, but I was thankfully able to achieve 15 no spend days. That will be May 1st, May the 5th, the 7th, May 8th, 10th, 14th, 15th, the 16th, it looks like the 21st, the 22nd, the 25th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. Yay! Yeah! Oh, oops, sorry, y'all. Thank you for being here with me. Yeah, that's awesome. I feel really good doing that. A big part of that is just being more conscious, and then also just not stepping foot into anywhere where I could spend money. Like lots of walks, the library, the park with my son. And if it was going to be something a little more low cost. So the goal for next month is to do just marginally better. And I'm gonna go for 16 no spend days because my mom's visiting, so I'm trying to limit at the beginning of the month before she gets here, because I know when she gets here we're going to go do fun things, which is good. I want my son to enjoy the time with his grandma. I enjoy spending time with my mom. We always have cool brunches and new experiences. The last time she came to visit us out here around the same time last year, and we were on the West Coast, we got to explore a really major museum in the area, a local zoo, And this time she's going to be staying for even longer. So hopefully that is something that we can keep on budget for. So moving on to the last part, so I can go ahead and close out my monthly total spending. So we have, I'll do it like this. Education. Instead of the $1,300 I wanted, I only paid $883 towards education, which is my student loans through Great Lakes, all federal. And I'm okay with that because it was like Mother's Day and other expenses that I wanted to do. Taxes, property taxes, even though we're currently traveling from our husband's jobs, we're still legal domicile residents of Virginia, and they're gonna get those property taxes out of you. I've lived in Texas, like I said, I lived in Florida, and I'm not gonna get too much into it, but more than likely my husband and I will probably be moving to a red state. I'm gonna make more videos talking about it and how our experiences have been in purple and currently in very much so blue state is in regards to finances. So moving down, personal care is about $179. So this includes everything from my hair to beauty to hygiene for like my skincare regimen and different things like that. My hair care costs are a lot more expensive out here, just because everything's a little more expensive. And also when I'm on the East Coast, I have a relative and I also have someone who's a professional cosmetologist as well who I've been seeing, and so I'm able to get really good rates, whereas here there are no good rates. It's just what it's gonna be. So food and dining, $158. I'm okay with that because like I said, my fast food costs used to be astronomical. This includes like some specialty groceries for like snacks that I really like. Chicka Chicka Boom popcorn, just different things. Sea moss. I've gotten really into smoothies and like adding collagen, things like that. So that's gonna be the bulk of food now. My other is entertainment, subscriptions, my phone bill. I have Amazon Prime. I have YouTube Premium. I converted my husband over to YouTube Premium. It's worth it. I don't like commercials, and they're usually sad, or if my son's falling asleep to binaural beats or white noise, and then the ad comes on and I'm rushing from the other bedroom trying to get to his room. I'm like, no, we'll just do the no ads. Last two, shopping, $68. This is usually pretty low, but I actually got some new clothing, like exercise clothing, because I've been trying to motivate myself to be more active and move. It's good for my physical and mental health. And then last but not least, health. We talked about that. $60 a month minimum. I have one therapy appointment a month with my LMFT, licensed marriage and family therapist. I've been going to therapy for a couple of years now, and it's definitely helped a lot. I'm very transparent about managing anxiety and mental health and just keeping everything. I mean, if it's so much going on in 2020 to 2021, this year alone, invasions, pandemics, economy, all kinds of things, that your head can be so loud, and just being able to get it out, or even down to becoming a new mom, being a wife, like balancing, still maintaining my own center of self and womanhood. It's been really helpful to put things into perspective and realize that there are a lot of things that I get to do that I feel like I have to do. And it's like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. But when I take a moment to reflect, and it's like, I get to do that though, because some people don't. So it helps to really center and gain some perspective. So for the month of May 2022, I spent a grand total of $1,684, with the bulk of everything going towards education, which is generally how it's going to be. For next month, the main goals, we have a lot of trips coming up, and they need to be funded and paid for prior to the departure. Otherwise, we're going to have to figure something out. So that is the main thing. The goal is to be debt-free by 30. I'm currently 28. And I thank you all for joining me on this journey. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.